Phoenix teen who was 8 months pregnant was shot and killed Saturday on a family trip in San Diego.
She was 17 years old. She was 8 months pregnant, 32 weeks along. She had traveled from Phoenix to San Diego with her family for what was supposed to be a trip, a vacation rental on Gardena Avenue in the Bay Park neighborhood. Family around her, a few days away from home. In the early hours of Saturday, May 30th, 2025, a DoorDash notification arrived at the door. Flowers. Someone had placed an order and sent them to the rental. Jariah Edwards went to the door. She was not alone. A family member came with her. The flowers were collected. Nothing happened. The night stayed quiet. Then a second delivery arrived. This time, Jariah stepped outside alone. She was shot in the head. First responders arrived and immediately began life-saving measures for both Jariah and her unborn child. She was transported to hospital. An emergency cesarean section was performed. The baby was delivered at 32 weeks. Jariah Edwards did not survive. The man, prosecutors say, pulled that trigger had not stumbled across her by chance. He had not followed her on impulse. According to prosecutors, he had traveled over 350 miles from Phoenix, Arizona to San Diego, alone by rideshare, with one purpose. He had positioned himself outside that rental in the dark. He had waited. When she came out the first time with a family member, he did not act. He waited again. He placed a second order. And when she walked out that door alone, in the middle of the night, that was the moment he had been waiting for. His name is Trayvon Williams. He was 21 years old. He was the father of Jariah's unborn child. The baby he helped create was delivered into a hospital ICU with severe brain injury. Days later, that baby was gone too. 2 lives. 1 night, 1 man's decision. Hit subscribe and drop a comment right now. Tell us what country or state you're watching from. Let's see how far Jariah's story has reached.
A heartbreaking tragedy has left a family shattered in San Diego, California. 17-year-old Jariah Edwards, who was 8 months pregnant, was shot and killed outside a vacation rental home early Saturday morning. Police say officers responded just after 1 a.m. after multiple 911 calls reported gunfire. When they arrived, they found Jariah suffering from a gunshot wound to the head. Paramedics rushed her to the hospital, where doctors performed an emergency C-section in a desperate attempt to save her unborn child. Tragically, Jariah did not survive, but her newborn daughter was delivered alive and is now fighting for her life in the NICU. Investigators say Jariah had traveled from Phoenix to San Diego with family members for a vacation. Authorities allege that her ex-boyfriend, 21-year-old Trayvon Williams, the father of her baby, traveled from Arizona and ambushed her outside the rental property. Williams has been arrested and is facing multiple serious charges as the investigation continues. A young mother gone at just 17 years old and a newborn now fighting to survive. This devastating case has shocked communities across both Arizona and California. Phoenix teen who was 8 months pregnant was shot and killed Saturday on a family trip in San Diego.
Tonight, her baby girl is in critical condition, and the man arrested for her murder is facing felony charges. Alexis Dominguez has been looking into this case for us. And Alexis, we're getting some clues tonight from friends, but California law is limiting what kind of information can be released, right?
Yeah, that's right. And tonight, while investigators and prosecutors continue building their case, the people who knew Jariah Edwards best say they want everyone to remember the 17-year-old behind the headlines, describing her as a young woman excited to become a mom.
She fit right in with us. She was literally one of us.
The videos are filled with smiles.
She was my best friend, but we were all very close to her.
And show a teen surrounded by friends.
She just had a natural nurturing energy to her.
A nurturing energy her friends say was about to play a big role in her next chapter in life. Jariah Edwards was about 8 months pregnant with a baby girl.
She was just ready to finally meet her and see what she looks like.
Instead, her loved ones are left planning a funeral after San Diego police say Jariah was shot outside a vacation rental just after 1 o'clock Saturday morning.
It's not fair what happened to her.
Doctors delivered her baby by emergency C-section before Jariah died at the hospital. Friends say Jariah's world revolved around her unborn daughter. A daughter now fighting for her own life.
She was so excited. Yeah, I feel like it gave her something to look forward to. Just all the stress and stuff, especially with that relationship.
Police say 21-year-old Trayvon Williams, who was her boyfriend, traveled separately to San Diego. Her friends say she was lured outside with flowers, describing Williams as a controlling boyfriend.
He literally drained like the happiness from her.
Williams fled the scene but was eventually arrested. He's scheduled to be arraigned Wednesday on charges of first-degree murder and attempted murder. Jail records show he's being held without bond.
We didn't get enough time with her. Like, no justice, no amount of years, like, will make up for him taking her life away.
And today I spent hours trying to learn more about where the case stands and what exactly happened. I contacted the San Diego Court Public Affairs Office and I learned prosecutors have until noon Wednesday to formally file their case ahead of the scheduled 1:30 arraignment. And unlike Arizona, where a mugshot would likely be public now, California law generally prevents law enforcement from releasing arrest mugshots before a conviction. We'll continue to follow this case and let you know if there are any developments. Reporting live here in the newsroom, Alexis Dominguez for Arizona's Family.
Gosh, that's the latest in a series of terrible stories just like this. Alexis, thank you.
Man accused of killing his pregnant ex-girlfriend over the weekend faced a judge for the first time today.
Prosecutors say the killing was planned and carried out after he traveled from Arizona here to San Diego. News 8's Alex Cheney was in court today and joins us live now with the latest. Alex?
Yeah, Marcella, this is just so tragic. The family of the victim was in the courtroom today in tears as they watched the suspect, 21-year-old Trayvon Williams, plead not guilty to first-degree murder and also attempting to kill his own unborn child.
This is a capital case.
In the Central Courthouse downtown, 21-year-old Trayvon Williams pleaded not guilty to first-degree murder, the attempted murder of a fetus, and possession of a machine gun with an extended magazine. The judge ordered us not to show you his face. Prosecutors say Williams and 17-year-old Jariah Edwards started dating in September of 2025, and family was concerned.
Had an on and off relationship filled with domestic violence and threats of violence on the victim and her unborn baby by the defendant.
Prosecutors say that on May 29th, Edwards and her family were staying at an Airbnb in San Diego. By then, she had blocked Williams' phone number, and family was in the process of getting a restraining order. Court documents show Williams took a Lyft from Arizona to San Diego, leaving around 6 p.m. and arriving just before 11:30 that night. Prosecutors say he learned where Edwards was staying, had the driver drop him off several houses away, and lied in wait. They say he used DoorDash to send flowers to the home. Edwards went outside with a family member to pick them up, but Williams remained hidden. A short time later, prosecutors say he sent a second DoorDash delivery, this time a vase, to lure Edwards outside alone. That's when investigators say Williams shot her in the head early Saturday morning. After the shooting, prosecutors say he ran into Tecolote Canyon, changed clothes, and tried to hide. Prosecutors say they also have GPS data placing him at the scene, along with a recorded statement. The DA says Williams told a friend on the phone, "I shot her in the face. I shot her dead."
Evidence that are given in the police reports, given through GPS monitoring, as well as defendants' very own statements and witnesses.
Edwards was 32 weeks pregnant. Her baby was delivered by emergency C-section and remains in critical condition. Prosecutors say the child suffered a loss of oxygen and currently has minimal brain activity. If the baby dies, Williams could face an additional murder charge.
2 times.
Williams is currently being held with no bail. He is due back in court on Friday for a bail review hearing. His maximum penalty is life in prison without the possibility of parole or the death penalty. Reporting live, I'm Alex Cheney. Back over to you.
Who was Jariah Edwards? Jariah Edwards was 17 years old and 8 months pregnant when she was killed. She had traveled to San Diego with her family. People who loved her. People who were right there in that rental house when she walked out that door. Her mother was among the family members who later attended the court hearing. She sat in that courtroom and watched a man plead not guilty to the murder of her daughter. Jariah never got to hold her child. She never made it home from that trip. The life she was building, the baby she was weeks away from delivering, was taken from her in the dark, outside a vacation rental, just after 1 a.m. What the evidence shows, according to prosecutors, Trayvon Williams and Jariah Edwards began dating in September 2025. From the start, the relationship was marked by domestic violence. Prosecutors told the court that Williams made direct threats against Edwards and against her unborn baby throughout the course of their relationship. When Jariah and her family traveled to San Diego, Williams made the same trip separately. He hired a rideshare driver to take him from Phoenix to San Diego, approximately 355 miles. He went to the address on Gardena Avenue and waited outside in the dark. Prosecutors say he used DoorDash to send a flower delivery to the front door. When Jariah came outside with a family member, Williams did not act. He placed a second order, a vase, and waited. When she stepped out alone, he shot her in the head. After the shooting, he fled on foot into nearby Tecolo Canyon, where he changed his clothes and hid. Officers located him there around 3 a.m. and took him into custody. At the time of his arrest, he was in possession of a semi-automatic handgun equipped with an extended magazine, a weapon that, prosecutors noted, is legal in Arizona but not in California. Prosecutors say Williams made an audio recording to a third party in which he admitted to the shooting. According to court filings, he stated, "I shot her in the face. I shot her dead." Investigators also have GPS data, placing him at the scene. He pleaded not guilty. The prosecution says this case may be eligible for the death penalty. What do you think should happen? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We read every single one. The charges and what comes next. On June 4th, 2026, Trayvon Williams appeared in the San Diego courtroom and pleaded not guilty to first-degree murder, attempted murder of a fetus, and possession of a machine gun with an extended magazine. The charge of first-degree murder carries the special circumstance of lying in wait, meaning prosecutors allege this was not impulsive. It was planned. He waited for the right moment. The district attorney's office indicated the case could be eligible for the death penalty, though no decision on that had been confirmed at the time of his arraignment. Williams is being held without bond. A bail review hearing was set for June 12th. Deputy District Attorney Alex Lorenz addressed court directly. This was a tragic and heinous murder of a 17-year-old girl who was 32 weeks pregnant by her ex-boyfriend, where there was a history of domestic violence. He also said the family is now facing the possibility of losing their grandchild as well. That possibility became reality. Days after the shooting, the baby, delivered by emergency cesarean section, fighting for life in the San Diego ICU, died. The infant had suffered a severe hypoxic brain injury. There was minimal brain activity. The child never had a chance. What this case demands we reckon with. The details of this case are not subtle. A man traveled hundreds of miles. He used a delivery app as a tool to isolate his target. He waited in the dark while her family was feet away. He had reportedly threatened her and her unborn baby before. And when he had the moment he was looking for, he took it. This is what the end of a dangerous relationship can look like. Not a moment of rage. A plan. A rideshare. A second delivery. A single shot. Jariah Edwards was 17 years old. She was weeks from becoming a mother. She was on a family trip. She should have gone home. Her baby deserved to live. Both of them deserved so much more than what happened on that street in the early hours of May 30th, 2025. Say her name. Jariah Edwards, 17 years old, and never forgotten. If this story moved you, please share this video. Jariah's name deserves to be heard. Hit that like button. Subscribe to True Crime Tower and drop a comment below. What do you think justice looks like for Jariah and her baby?